We're asked to evaluate the limits graphically. So what a limit is like a y value. This is a rough idea. A limit is the y value as you get really, really close without actually touching a certain x value. Okay, that's definitely not a strict definition, but it gives you the idea. You were supposed to use this graph. They just called this function h of x. I don't know why h instead of f, but we're supposed to evaluate the limit as x approaches -3. So here's where x is equal to -3. As x approaches -3, if we approach it from the left, the y values get closer and closer to 2. If you approach -3 coming from the right, the y values get closer and closer to 2. So this limit is 2. Okay, that's why I said at the beginning, a limit is, roughly speaking, it's a y value as you get closer and closer to some certain x value. So we get closer and closer to a y value of 2 as x approaches -3. Let's see if it gives us another one. Yeah. This one also wants us to approach -3. Okay, so this one's a little bit different. When you evaluate limits, the first one, I approached it from the left and from the right. I said, okay, well, here I come. I'm coming towards x equals -3, but I'm going to look at it coming from the left side. The y value is -4, -5. It gets infinitely close to -6, but it doesn't touch, right? So as x approaches -3 from the right, we have a y value -4, -5, -6, close to -7. Then the y value gets infinitely close to -6 as we get closer and closer to x equals -3. So as we get closer to that x equals -3, the y value from the left and from the right, they get infinitely close to -6. You never actually reach it, okay, with a limit. That's why there's an open circle here to try to test your knowledge of limits, and this is perhaps the first time you've even heard about limits. There's an open circle there, but a circle has no width. It's got no dimension, right? It's just an infinitely small point. So you can approach a limit, and the y values from the left and from the right get really, really close to -6. Now, the exact value, if we were to plug in -3 and for x in here into this function, the functions could be defined as a piecewise function because it would spit out +2. The exact value, x equals -3, corresponds to y equals 2. But as x gets infinitely close to -3, the y values get infinitely close to -6.